Hi guys, how are you all? Today we will learn all about the Extrude tool for making 3D objects. Extrude is a very important tool that we need to convert two-dimensional shapes into three-dimensional objects or remove parts from a three-dimensional object, and other features that we will learn about together in this video in detail. But before we start explaining, don't forget to support the channel by liking, subscribing and sharing the video, and let's get started. In order to be able to explain how the Extrude tool works in detail, we have prepared this model to work on. To work with the Extrude tool, we first choose a shape. And notice that we have three types of extrude, which are solid, surface, and thin. We start first with the extrude solid, which is used to create solid parts. Among the available options regarding the solid option, we have new, add, remove, and intersect. The settings in these options are similar with differences that we will explain. First, we have end type to specify the end of the extrusion, which includes blind where we choose the extrusion distance ourselves, up to next where the extrusion extends to the next face or part opposite the extrusion direction, up to face where the extrusion extends to the specified face parallel to the first face, and up to part where the extrusion extends to the next part opposite the extrusion direction. We also have up to vertex where the extrusion extends to a specific point, and through all where the extrusion goes through anything that is opposite the face we are extruding. And we can choose which parts to merge with or with the whole. Now let's go back to the blind option, where opposite direction reverses the extrusion direction. Depth specifies the extrusion distance, and direction specifies the extrusion direction starting from a straight line. We also have a starting offset option to offset the extrusion by a certain distance. We also have a symmetric option to extrude the shape in both directions at the same distance. We find the draft option to add a tilt angle to the vertical parts. And within the draft settings we find the opposite direction option to extrude the shape in the second direction. And we also have the second end position, which is used to create an extrusion in the opposite direction, and it has its own settings as we notice the end type, depth, and also draft with its own options as well. Thus, we have finished with the Extrude New option, and for the information that most of the options are repeated in each of Add, Remove, and Intersect with some differences. As we notice in the new option, the settings have not changed much. The difference is that the new option is used to extrude a shape from any shape, while the Add option is used to extrude a shape from another part that we choose to merge the extrusion with this part. As for the remove option, it works in reverse of the add option, as it removes a part of the object, and we can specify the depth of the removal, and it is available on most of the add option settings. To understand the intersect option, let's change the example. We use intersect to remove all parts that do not intersect with the extrusion resulting from the specified face, and keep the rest of the parts but for a distance specified by depth. Now we move to the second type of extrusion, which is surface, and this type simply extrudes lines instead of extruding the entire shape, and the settings in it are opposite direction to change the direction, depth to specify the extrusion distance, and other settings such as the solid type. Finally, we have the thin type, which is used to create a hollow extrusion with a specific thickness. And from the settings we find the mid-plane, which is used to distribute the thickness on both sides of the shape's perimeter. Also thickness 1 to specify the thickness. Flip wall to make the object start from the edges of the shape towards the inside. Thickness 2 to specify the thickness in the other direction. We have end type exactly like solid. Opposite direction to reverse the extrusion direction, and the rest of the settings exactly like solid. We have reached the end of the video. If you found the video useful, don't forget to support us by liking and subscribing to the channel to receive the following lessons, and if you have any questions or suggestions, share them with us in the comments. See you in the next video.